5 reasons why UFOs and aliens, all this stuff, is a demonic experience. And I'm going to play some clips here, and we're going to talk about each one.
The Defense Intelligence Agency has just released that program's 2010 report on UFOs. And among other things, the document tells us that the government can prove that UFO sightings have caused radiation burns, paralysis, and brain damage. The report also says that some people who saw UFOs experienced, quote, perceived time suspension. They also saw ghosts and other spirits.
He said UFOs are actually tied and have been seen around paranormal activity. Everyone knows paranormal activity, ghosts, spirits, all this stuff that goes bump in the night that's just trying to irritate you. That's not of God. This is something that is menacing.
Brain damage, burns, and ghosts.
We're going to go on the next one. You ready? Right. Okay, so this next one is talking about how dead people are seen around these things. And how do we know that dead people are proof that this is demonic? Now watch this, check this out.
These so-called alien beings are actually manifesting at times as dead relatives during the abduction experience to challenge a person's belief system as Christian theology in the idea that dead relatives can be talked to or even spoken to, or that they're even around to be able to hear what we have to say.
So that was a MUFON director, Joe Jordan, if you haven't seen him before. He analyzes these reports, understands what's going on, and has investigators that go out and investigate these things. He says they've seen over and over and over again that these things can be stopped in the name, with Jesus' name, not Krishna, not Buddha, Jesus' name. And not only that, but also that he has seen where people have had experiences where their dead relatives try to perform a sexual union, like he just said. That's not going to happen. Your dead relative's not going to come back to you and do that, especially if they're not your significant other that's died. And so what's going on here? This has to be a demonic experience.
Yeah, the Bible has clear warning against necromancy, talking to the dead. Why? Because you're not talking to the dead. You're talking to demons impersonating the dead. That's why they're called familiar spirits, because they look familiar to you. Oh, no, that's not a demon. That's my grandma. She looks familiar. That's because these spirits can literally take on the shape. They're shapeshifters. I mean, Satan shapeshifted as a serpent. The Bible says, do not, test every spirit. He transforms himself as an angel of light. Don't even trust, we entertain angels unaware. Why is it unaware? Because they don't look like an angel. They look like something else, right?
Right. Okay, you ready for the next one? Number 3.
When people start to understand more about the UFO phenomenon, and when they follow what Secret Machines is going to teach them, and mind you, as we'll talk about this in a little bit, it's not all coming from me. It's coming from other people of the highest places. The term the occult in that whole world is much more a part of the UFO phenomenon than, and that's part of what makes it more complex than just little green men in flying saucers and tinfoil hats. There's a very, very strong link between what people think demons are from the Bible and other religions and the UFO phenomenon. And what you have is something that doesn't like man, period, and something that feels either jealous of or has some kind of plan for what man is to be.
I was like, dude, Tom DeLonge just gave us straight gold there. He literally describes what the Bible says. I mean, Lucifer was jealous of man, and you've created these beings and all that. I'm going to go and corrupt them. And he said these things hate man. That's Satan and all his demons. They hate mankind. They're coming to seek and kill and destroy, right? They relate to what people call demons in the Bible.
I mean, this is a perfect example of showing that, this thing's a demonic entity. 3 more beliefs and understandings of ufology that prove it is absolutely a demonic religion. And I say religion because it's a belief system. It's the belief system that's coming to replace all belief systems here pretty soon. And that's the drum that nobody, Mikey, nobody but us, I feel, is actually drumming this drum. I mean,
Right.
people are drumming the drum about ecumenicalism. People are drumming the drum about the Catholic Church,
Roman
Protestantism.
Catholicism. Yeah.
Yeah, you got all these things that we know are going to be big deal in the last days, but nobody's talking about this one thing. Nobody's talking about how spiritualism is coming to try to completely create a different idea. But I found by watching some of these religions that are worshiping UFOs is that the people, the messages they get are you are to love and not hurt anybody, but you are to be free from all laws. That's exactly the opposite what the Bible says. The Bible says we are to hold to close to love, and love is defined in the Bible by the Ten Commandments. Love your neighbor, love your God, which is the two pinnacle tablets that represent the first four being love your God, the last six being love your neighbor. And so I think that's probably a good point. Let's put that in here as how you can tell that the ufology is absolutely a demonic religion. It doesn't follow. It wants you to believe that there are no more rules. Let's talk about this next belief. Do you know much about the Nephilim?
I completely bought into that idea in 2012. The sons of God saw the daughters of man, that they were beautiful, and went into them and bared children, and they were men of old and renowned and all these things. And then it says there were giants in the earth in those days and also afterwards. And so if you look at that as just like this is one paragraph, one subject, which the Bible, written in Hebrew and Greek, there's no punctuation. There's a lot of things that, are just strung together. But I completely believed. Yeah, I was like, whoa, this is really weird, sounds really crazy, but it's right here in the Bible, and I believe what the Bible says. And it appears to be saying that angels mated with women and created these demonic hybrids, and that's why God sent the flood to get rid of these things. But it says that they were here also afterwards, after the flood. So I thought, well, I know they didn't survive the flood, but maybe it happened again. But when I really looked into what the sons of God are, when you look at, if you do a word search, if you have a Bible app, you can type in quotation marks sons of God, and it'll search every time the Bible says sons of God or son of God. That's a believer. He gives us, he says, if you believe, then you have the right to become the sons of God. So the sons of God are just believers in God, Christians. And anytime you see like the sons of man in the Bible, it's always referring to the lost, those who don't have God. And in this case, it says the daughters of men, because it's referring to pagan women, heathen women. We don't see that the sons of God ever refers to angels. Yeah, we see some things that look like it could, like when it says the sons of God rejoiced when they saw God create the worlds and things like that. But I believe that God created other beings before earth and humans and all that. There was, of course, the angels existed before the creation of earth. And which is, that's the topic we're talking about, is were these angels or not.
Right.
But more than not, you're seeing that the sons of God refer to believers, not angels. And these might not even be referring to angels. Maybe the sons of God who rejoiced when they saw creation were other beings that were created by God, When I saw they asked Jesus, they were trying to trip him up all the time. And they said, all right, this woman, she was married to this guy. He died. She married his brother. This happened 7 times. In the resurrection, whose wife will she be? And Jesus said, in the resurrection, there will not be marriage. There won't, because they'll become like the angels. He said, in the resurrection, they'll become like the angels, and they will not be given into marriage. Now, logically, I'm thinking, if God created angelic beings to be, for one, they're all male that I know of, or at least androgynous or whatever you want to call it. We never see a female angel in the Bible ever.
Right.
Now, if God created angels that were meant to be eternal, immortal, and all male, and they don't give into marriage, so therefore they don't have sex either.
We got to talk about this 1,000-year reign thing, because it talks about the a lot of Christians believe that there's going to be a 1,000-year millennium here on Earth. The Bible does not support that, and ufology picks that up and says that there's going to be an age of Aquarius, or I forget what it is, but there's some kind of age where everything is perfect, and it sounds exactly like what Christianity, what mainstream Christianity, what most Christianity believes is this, where God comes and reigns on earth. It doesn't reign on earth. He's coming, he's taking his people back to heaven. That's what's going to happen. It's not going to be here on earth. Don't go somewhere and say, hey, yeah, Jesus is here. He's right over there. And now he wants to start the full 1,000 years on earth. That's the deception that's coming, folks.
And there's going to be a lot of people that are setting themselves up to believe the Antichrist or the false Messiah, because they're going to say, look, he's here. He's setting up his kingdom. When they say peace and safety, remember what the Bible says, sudden destruction. Jesus said, when they say I'm in the desert, don't go. When they say I'm in the secret chambers, don't go. Why? Because he's not going to touch the ground for 1,000 years. When he comes, like lightning flashes from the east to the west, and this is after the tribulation, this isn't pre-tribulation, the Bible doesn't support that. Job says that he'll remain in the ground until thy wrath be past. Actually, just commented with somebody who said that they believed in pre-wrath, not pre-tribulation, but pre-wrath. But Job clearly says, when man dies, where is he? He vanishes like the cloud and all this. It says, hide me in my grave until thy wrath be past. What's God's wrath? Read Revelation. The bowls are being poured out. That's his wrath. So the resurrection and the rapture event doesn't happen until after that. And it says that we're going to be caught up to meet the Lord in the air, and forever will we remain. It doesn't say he's going to come down here and meet us. We're going to meet him up there. And then it talks about that after the 1,000 years is finished, then the rest of the dead, which are the wicked, they come to life for resurrection judgment. And we're going to be part of that jury. We're coming back with Christ after 1,000 years to be a part of judging these lost people. So that is a huge deception, man. If so many people believe that when Christ comes, he's going to set foot on earth, perfect world for 1,000 years, that's what they're going to try to push. Look, we got this perfect utopia.
Thanks for watching this segment. Subscribe to our channel and join us every Thursday night for more daily strange topics and more. Find us on Discord by accessing patreon.com/strangenormal. See you there.